Alright, so today I'm going to do a different kind of video. Something that I've been kind of wanting to do since I started doing videos again. I wanted to do a pack opening. So let's see how this... I've got a collector booster of Innistrad. Is it focus? Okay, there we go. And I wanted to just do an opening. Just to see, I don't know, something different maybe. Some commentary on the new set. We're going to see how this turns out. Hopefully the video is okay and it's not too blurry. All right. Oh, we got double box chopper. Sweet. Let's see. Meow. There we go. I don't know why it keeps focusing in and out like that. Those are box choppers. We're going to save those for later. I'm just going to put them up here. And we got... Come on. I got 6 and 6 packs. We'll get rid of this. It's over there. All right, so now we got 12 boosters. I'm not going to rearrange the order or nothing because I have no idea if that works. All right, so first of all, the first thing I wanted to say about the set, I actually think this set was pretty good for Magic in general. How does this open? Perfect. There we go. I like this set for Standard quite a bit. And I think actually once this set came out, and I think then they came out with Alchemy, I think it kind of ruined, well, it didn't really ruin Standard. Alchemy is its own thing, so I think that for whatever it is. Anyway, so we got a foil zombie token and a foil blue zombie token. Sweet, shiny. Foiling process has definitely gotten better. Sorry about the zooming in and zooming out. Not sure why it's doing that. We'll put the token over there. All right. Well, not really going to get into the foils too much, or the commons rather. Neat. I think this is a flip card. Yep. Cool. Goes to the side. Goes out of the way. All right. Vampire's Vengeance. This card here has blown me out in far too many games, especially against the vampire decks. I'll put it down here. And we got Innocent Traveler, a card actually initially that I thought was going to be really, really good, and then I kind of read it, and then I realized even if they don't, it's still only a 3/3 flyer for 4 mana. It's not really that good. Or they sacrifice a creature every turn, but they're better off just letting it transform, and then it's only a 5/3 at best. So it's not really that great. We got the sweet basic land. They're awesome. And I think these, this dual land cycle is actually really, really good. Got a foil Shattered Sanctum. I think this these dual lands are a bit underappreciated right now. I think they're going to be viewed sometime down the road as one of the best dual lands to come out, especially for Standard. I don't know about Modern or any of that other stuff, but or even like I guess Historic or anything like that. But I know for Standard, these are some of the best lands that they've ever had. So shiny. It's almost like that moon's moving. All right, put that down here for the rares, and then we got Haunting Imitation. So I haven't actually seen this. This looks like one of the commander cards. Each player reveals top card alive. For each creature card revealed this way, create a token. It's 1/1, in addition to other types. And then if nothing's revealed, you return it. Wow, that's a pretty neat card. So each player, so you get a 1/1 for, wow, that seems really good for a commander, or even, you know, maybe in the cube or something, potentially go in there. That's pretty powerful, I think. Yes, I don't know why this, all right, and we have the Voice of the Blessed alternate art, which is pretty sweet. I hate this card though. This card single-handedly makes the white life gain deck kind of fly, sing, whatever you want to call it. Now, I might be one of the only people that does not like, I'll put this up here, that doesn't like the borders for the vampires. I think it's a little, I don't know, I think it's a little blah. I mean, it's neat, but I think it's also blah at the same time. I just don't like it doesn't stand out enough to me as far as I'm concerned. Put it down there. And then we have Vampire's Vengeance, which I guess is just the alternate art for this one. So that's the old art, or I guess the normal art, and this is the extended Dracula version. This one's way better. Mysterious Blood Illness. Way better. So that's neat. And we got another alternate art. Again, the black one definitely stands out better than the red one. Just because I think the gold on the black looks way better. And then Wedding Security is a foil alternate art. It's not bad on the alternate art, but again, I don't like the frame. The art's fine, just the frame's kind of terrible. And Investigator's Journal. This is a card that I've played quite a few times. It seems to be better in like draft or sealed maybe, but still a pretty neat card. All right. Ooh, foil blood token. That's neat. And the other side is a wolf token. Sweet. Yeah, put my tokens over here. It's a commander card. All right. Ooh. Focus. There we go. Okay. Full mulch. This card was great at the time that it was printed. I expected much better things out of this card. But it turns out that the Diregraph Rebirth spell isn't quite as good as it used to be. There we go. Focus. Focus. There we go. I don't know why it's auto-focusing as much as it is. I'll have to check that out. Neat. Common. This card I've talked about already in one of the videos that I played it in. I think the Zombies deck just has far too many 3-drops in it. Still neat as a foil. Neat. Basic land. Nice. By invitation only. This card will just replace Doomscar. I don't think they rotate out at the same time. It's fine. It can benefit you because if your opponent has 4 creatures, you have 5, you get to keep 1. But I have yet to see that be the case in Standard. All right, so now we got another Commander full art. It's neat. I've seen this one already, so take that for what it's worth. I don't think it's worth very much. Sensia Uprising. This was a card that I played, and I haven't actually done a deck tech on it or anything like that, but this is a really neat tokens deck. Pretty good card. All right. Now, again, the white's not too bad, but I still don't like the alternate art. Van Helsing's Holy Ward, Circle of Confinement. Again, that's a neat alternate art. Ooh, Grelnuck, the Omnivore. Just normal. This actually looks much better than the foil version of this. That's pretty neat. We got a foil Blood Craze Socialite. Neat. Again, the artwork's great. Just, again, don't really like the frame that much. Oh, look at this. Right, it's going to go there. And now you can see the foil and non-foil. And I actually kind of prefer the non-foil. But neat. All right, no mythics. I don't know where Paper Magic is going to end up going due to Arena. I have a feeling that, people have been saying now forever and ever and ever Paper Magic is probably going to die, but I don't think it'll die. I think it's just going to change. Oh, I got a mythic on the bottom there. Human token for your Sensia Uprising. Sweet. All right. Commons. Neat. Lantern Forebearer. Should be playing a blue-white humans deck list soon. That features that card. Markov Waltz. It was still a really, really good card. Cobbled Lancer. I don't think that's any good. Plains. Neat. Alright. Catilda. This was a card early on that I thought was going to be really, really good. And for maybe the Wana white deck, it probably is. Maybe even for the Spirits deck in the sideboard. But with not a lot of people playing vampires anymore, I don't find. I don't think it's as big of a requirement in the deck or the sideboard as it maybe at one point was. All right, so this is another one, another mythic. I guess this must be the mythic commander spot for these. Yes, can we read that card? It's kind of a bit distorted there. So ward, discard a card. Whenever another non-token vampire dies, pay 1, exile it. Oh, you control dies. You can create a 1/1 black bat token creature. It deals damage, sacrifice it, and return the exile card to battlefield tapped. Okay, cool. So it basically turns your creatures that die into a bat that when it dies, it returns the creature. Oh, neat. Glorious Sunrise. This is a basic definition of a win more card, I think. I have seen it. It's been played against me quite a few times, and it has demolished me. But generally, I play a mid-range, long game type decks, and cards like this are basically meant to stop decks like that. Especially this one down here, the draw card. So take that for what it's worth. I don't think the card's that great, but it can be used to good effect in certain matchups. Gluttonous Geist, pretty good artwork, and I don't like the border. Alluring Suitor, focus. Might be the reason why autofocus was actually turned on the camera. All right, cool. So Alluring Suitor, neat. And then Dr. John Seward. This is the training one that whenever you cast a creature spell, you get a 1/1 green-white human soldier token with training. So pretty neat. The alternate artwork, the full frame artwork is fantastic. I think it's great looking. And then Van Helsing's Holy Ward, and a foil version of Circle of Confinement. And our first mythic, Volatile Arsonist. This card's very, very good. It's got Menace, Haste, and then deals damage. And then if it flips, it deals 2 damage instead. So it's a pretty powerful card. I just don't know if it has a home or it comes in maybe over the Goldspan Dragon. Goldwing Dragon, whatever it's called. There's a mythic anyway. Full art too. Pretty sweet. Again, I'm not sure, like, I don't know, I'll probably keep saying it over and over again in this video, but we got a foil boar. Neat. I'm not sure where Paper Magic is going to go following, the release of extra cards on Alchemy and stuff and everything else. We got a Braid, sweet. Russian Canopy, Vampire's Kiss, a card that initially I thought would be very, very good in an aggressive deck. Turns out being a sorcery makes it worse. Adamant Will, Resistance Squad, Panic Bystander. Cool. This is the one that flips to the this one. It's pretty neat. I don't know where. I don't think it has a home. I think it's draft or sealed or whatever. Foil Island and a foil Voldaren Estate. Neat. This card, I think, people are undervaluing it and they're only considering it for the vampire deck. Although I think it potentially has room for other applications as well, because you got to remember too, it creates artifacts. Now, if we were to ever get an artifact vampire, then it would probably be more played. I've played this in non-vampire decks, and being able to create a blood token is not the worst thing in the world. It's some type of card draw from your land. So, and I think you can also play it with Edgar as well. Like if you're playing it Edgar, the creature that flips, it's a vampire, so you can actually use the mana for it as well. So it's kind of neat that way. So we got Hollow Hinge, another commander card. And we got a full art Dollhouse of Horrors. I think this card in mid-range matchups basically wins you the game. I've had it played against me and played it multiple times. If you play it with a bunch of creatures with comes into play effects, I think it's just Gelatinous Cube and the Brutal Cathar and the Skyclave Apparition, stuff like that. It's just great for that kind of stuff. So it lets you rebuy all your removal basically that are creatures. And plus there's I think other combo applications and stuff as well. Blood Petal, neat. That's a pretty neat artwork here. Yeah. Oh, cool. Speaking of Edgar Charmed Groom, we have the Dracula version, which is very neat. I'm glad to actually see this and not another common or something. Full art is really cool. This card I think is way undervalued at the moment. I think the ability to turn into an artifact and then come back, it's one of the first creatures that we've had that can block and then can return. Generally, what they end up printing is cards that, if they return, they can't block. So this is one of the few cards we've had in a long time that, if it dies, it returns, or can return anyway. So I think it's being a little bit underestimated right now, maybe because of the format. But we got Epicure and we got Alchemist's Gambit. This card I thought was going to be played a lot more than it currently is. Just as more time walks, basically. 7 mana or 3. I've used this to some effect, especially at the 3 mana. Ooh, knocked the camera over. All right. Move this up a bit. All right. Well, insect. Side. And a spirit token. Neat. All right. So, Steelclad Spirit. Daybreak. Mulch again. Talked about that already. Undead Butler. I think a lot of people thought that card was going to be better than it turned out. We got a foil. And we got a Winged Portent. Draw a card for each creature with flying you control for 3 mana, or for 6 mana, you can draw a card for each creature you control. Don't see this being played in standard right now. We got another full art commander card. Art spell disrupt to X artifacts. Oh, pretty neat. And we have a Graph Reaver. That's also pretty cool. Zombie with exploit. I think exploit's a pretty cool mechanic. Especially if the effect is good enough. It was funny enough, I was talking about the draft that I was playing earlier, and this is a card that I drafted, assuming that it said when Diregraph explodes a creature, you destroy a creature or planeswalker, and I ended up playing it and sacrificing a creature, trying to destroy a creature, and ended up doing nothing. All right, cool. Quincy Harker. Ooh, we got another mythic, and we got an alternate art mythic. Sweet. This was a card I think I picked out early on. I thought was going to be very, very good. Turns out it's not as good as I thought. It's just dies. Again, it dies to removal, dies to, tear, or whatever the removal of choice happens to be. And the overcharged full art foil overcharged amalgam. The card that's, I think, underplayed in the blue-black zombies deck. But for this card here, it's good, but I don't know where it belongs. It's still good, without context, it's a very good card, but I don't know where you play it. I don't know what deck it goes in right now. My assumption was in the beginning that when you exile it, if you play another version, you could actually bring those cards that the first one exiled, but apparently you don't. So that's why I think I overvalued it in the beginning. Neat. Neat. Tithe Harvester, cool. Lake Visionary, neat. Full Plains. Ooh, Cemetery Prowler, nice. These cemetery creatures are, I think, again, something that's kind of undervalued. I don't really know which is the best one. Something tells me the blue's the best one, but I don't think it fits currently in the blue, any of the blue decks that are being played. I think anytime that you can reduce the spell, the cost of your spells, through other permanents that, you know, they're basically a good permanent anyway. So like for this guy reduces the cost of other creatures. If you exile a creature, it's a creature itself, so it's not a legendary. So basically the next one will cost you 2 green. Maybe they're not quite as good as I think. I think they're better than most people think that they are. All right, Haunted Library. This is another commander one. So you can pay 1 if another creature dies. You get a spirit token. That's pretty neat for 2 mana. I don't know why this can't be in standard. Not quite sure. It doesn't seem overpowered or anything, but it is what it is. I think that's some of the thing that I have a problem too with the some of the commander stuff. I don't know why they're not available in standard. I think they should be. Most of them aren't really, you know, broken specifically. You know, stuff like at multiple players, then yeah, sure, I get that. But stuff that can be played in standard, I don't know why it's not. Dream Sacrigeist. I don't know if this has a home anywhere. Maybe in this blue-white Spirits deck, but I don't think so. Cool. That's neat artwork. And Thalia. I like this artwork actually better. I like the full artwork as well. The full bordered frame. Thalia I thought would be a bit bigger, would have more impact on the game, especially standard than it has. Maybe in the upper levels it is a bigger deal than I think. But I don't really see too many. Well, at one point I guess the mono white decks were running rampant, and I don't think they are. I think people figured out how to beat them even with this card. Cool. Another one. Ooh, that's neat. Oh, slug. Full slug. Cool. Foil Stormcarved Coast. That's awesome. Yeah, I said it before. I think these lands are being undervalued. After turn 3, or after turn 2, rather, they come into play untapped, and they're dual lands. So I think they're about as good as they'll ever get in terms of maybe the best they could probably do is maybe 1 or more other lands, so it wouldn't come into play untapped on turn 1, but on turn 2 it would. That's probably the best you're going to get. All right. So commons. I'm not really going to kind of skip over most of the commons, obviously. Neat. Full land. Dig Up. Like another card that I thought would actually see more play than it's seeing right now. But again, I just don't think it has a home. I've seen it played in the blue, the black-green snow decks, but I don't know how good it is there. I mean, it's just a cantrip early on that gets you a basic land. And then later on, it's a Diabolic Tutor. Diabolic Tutor has seen play in standard before, but I don't know if this is the right format. I think the format's too fast for it right now. Predator's Hour. Until end of turn, creatures you control gain menace, and whenever this deals damage. So basically it allows you to cast spells from the top opponent's library. Again, this is another card that I don't know why it's not in standard. It seems perfectly reasonable to me. I mean, it can exile multiple cards, I guess, but I don't think that's a big deal. All right, so Dying to Serve. This is one of those cards that depends on other cards to be good. It doesn't do anything on its own. This might be good in a deck that was playing, you know, maybe you built something with the Voldaren Estate, makes a bunch of blood tokens, and then you're actually discarding cards. Other than that, I don't know if this has a place anywhere. It's a neat card anyway. It's a neat design, but I don't know if it has a place anywhere. There's an alternate of Markov Waltzer. Cool. Another one. And another Thalia. Gluttonous Geist. Cool. Foil version. I think I have one. Ooh. Ooh, and it's foil. I got a boar token as well. Ooh, this is neat. So, Sorin foil mythic. I think I was reading somewhere that this card in particular, if it wasn't for blue-red, this card would be played a lot more than it is. Now, I don't know how true that is for Paper Magic, but I know on Arena, I hardly ever play against this card. It's always the Lawlith or something like that. But this card is pretty neat, and that I like the alternate art quite a bit. The fact that it's foil is neat too, but the alternate art's pretty cool. Full border, it's just great. All right, we got 5 packs left, and the 2 box toppers. I'll open the box toppers last. All right. So common. Thirst for Discovery. Card that I'm surprised doesn't see way more play than it does. All right. There's the regular Wedding Security. Sweet Foil Swamp. And Sigarda Summons. This is a card that realistically this should be a commander card, I guess. I don't know where this belongs. It's 6 mana. It just feels like a win more card to me. All right. Wrath of the Sleepless. Enchantment. You may cast spirit spells as though they had flash. Whenever you cast a creature spell, during an opponent's turn, tap up to 1 creature. Okay, well, this is opposition basically for spirits. I think this is still fine for standard. I still think it could have been played in standard, but it is what it is. Again, I don't see any reason why some of these can't be played in standard and why they chose to make them commander only. Anyway, Howling Moon. This card I've seen. This card is actually very, very good in the mono green deck, especially probably coming out of the sideboard. Probably coming out of the sideboard. I've seen some decks play it main. It can really destroy a bunch of other mid-range decks. So it gives the green deck a good game against Blood in the Snow decks, stuff like that. Stuff that's, they're playing like Deadly Dispute and whatnot. So I think it's a very good card, but probably and or likely a sideboard card. Daring Epicure, that's cool. Alternate art. Ooh, we got another alternate. Jacob Hogan. This full art, Jonathan Harker. This is a very sweet card. The artwork's amazing on these Dracula sort of inspired cards. I don't mind stuff like this, especially if it's made in premium products. Fine. I mean, it is what it is. There's an argument to be made that this should just be the standard artwork for the card in and of itself, but whatever. And we got a foil Runo with the alternate frame. That's neat. Oh, that artwork's really cool. This is a card that I'm not sure where the home is for it. I've tried building with it quite a few times, and it never flips. It never, ever flips. I've played it and played it and played it. I've played it in decks with multiple 6-drops to actually flip it. I think the creature, it should have likely have been either 5 or just a card with a mana value of 6 or higher, and I think it would have been played a lot more. That's pretty neat. And we got a foil spirit and zombie. Backs to go. 5 mythics. Cool. I was playing the draft, that same draft that I was talking about earlier. An opponent had 3 of these. I lost that match. Cool. Neat. Allenbach Escort. Hate that card. I I don't think this is a card that white needed at all. The ability to have a 1/1 creature and be able to counter a removal spell by sacrificing it. I don't like that at all. I think it's overpowered for mono white. Okay, cool. Fall Plains and Alpaca Piper. The spell can't be countered. This card is just too slow for this format right now. I think in maybe a different type of format, it might have been played. I've seen people try to play it in a werewolf deck, and maybe out of the sideboard because it doesn't cast it, so it can't be counterspelled. It's possible, but it just dies to so much removal. It's only a 2/2 for 4 mana, and I don't think that's playable at all. Yeah, it doesn't even put a creature into play when it transforms. You just get to put another creature into your hand. So yeah, I don't know how good that is. I don't think it's very good at all, to be honest. I know people will try to make it playable. Cards like that, Elvish goes back to Elvish Piper and stuff. Elvish Piper was better because number one, it was 1 mana, and it was a much different format back then. Okay, choose 3 cards and return 2 of them at random, and put the other on bottom of your library. So again, I don't know why this is not be able to be played in standard. It doesn't make sense to me. All right, full by invitation only. I've already gone over this card already. I'm not going to do it again. Hypnotist, Quincy Harker, and we had an Eruth Tormented Prophet. It's a 2/4 wizard. Draw a card, exile the top 2 cards instead. Now, this card, I have to try this card out. I feel like this card is being undervalued because basically it's your own personal Howling Mine. And if cards like the 2 mana red spell that lets you exile the top 2 cards are seeing play, there's no reason that this shouldn't either. But it's just a matter of what deck it sees play in. Just a rare. Cool foil. And a foil Headless Rider, which I think is the best card in the zombie deck. All right, and a foil token. Neat. 3 to go. And 2 box toppers. Neat. Again, I'm not really going to go over the commons. Uncommon. Cool. And then the mountain. And Falkarath, Forebear. Again, this is another one of those creatures that just doesn't die. Or, sorry, can't block. So you can sacrifice 2 tokens to return it. Again, like I was saying about Egger, Charmed Groom, it can't block. So being able to return this to play doesn't really do... I mean, it's good for, against control decks and stuff, but I would like to go back to the days where you can actually return a creature from the graveyard with an ability like this that can block. Although it probably makes for slower games, I guess, overall. All right, Sign of Opulence. Or another vampire and dies, you create a treasure token. Sacrifice 2 artifacts, exile the top card of your library. And this seems very playable in standard right now. I don't know why it's not. Anyway. All right, Creepy Puppeteer. Whenever this attacks, if you attack exactly 1 other creature, you may have its base power become 4/3. It's a red rogue, I guess, maybe. I don't think there could potentially be, but I think at 4 mana you're running into like all the dragons and stuff that are way better. Okay. Ooh, and Dracula, Blood Immortal. This is good artwork. It's the same card, 3/1 for 3, that returns if you sacrifice 2 blood tokens. But artwork's really cool. Foil Blood Sworn Squire. And a full art Hullbreaker Horror. Ooh, Dragon Illusion. That's neat. Cool. Didn't actually think that had a token. So this is a card that I have said already that I think it's worse than Alrund's Epiphany. Yes, this can end the game, but the power that this card has... I mean, I've said before, too, I think cards that are like this that can end the game quickly for a control deck are necessary. They're a necessary evil. I think stuff like Alrund's Epiphany is a necessary evil because you don't want to play against a control deck that's just, waiting multiple turns to ultimate their planeswalker or something like that. You want something like this, basically just comes down. If you can't beat them by the time this comes down, it's game over for you. However, this type of card pushes mid-range decks almost completely out of the format, because if you can't compete with this card, you're basically done. If they can untap, or you have they leave it up. This can basically say 8 mana, and they can basically return it to their hand all the time. So it's very difficult to remove. Can't be countered. Has flash. This card is just way worse than Elrond's Epiphany. And people might disagree with that, and that's fine. I'm sure I'm wrong, maybe, or potentially I'm wrong, but I don't think that I am. I think people are gonna eventually start hitting this card as much as they do Elrond's Epiphany. I mean, people don't like getting time walked. I mean, it's always sucked since the beginning of time. Since the beginning of Magic, people have hated being time walked. But I remember, Time Warp itself, when it was printed, that it was never played because it was too slow. It was just not good enough. All right, Cemetery Illuminator. Enters the battlefield, exile a card from a graveyard. Look at the top card of your library at any time. This is the one that I was saying that potentially has the ability to be the best of the cemeteries. It essentially reminds me of Courser of Krufix. But instead you can actually cast the spells instead of just playing lands. So this feels like it could be the better of the cemetery cards, or the best of the cemetery cards. Maybe the white one's also good too, but I think at some point this will be the better one. Sudden Salvation. 3 permanent cards are put. 3 cards in graveyard that are put there from the battlefield this turn. Return them to the battlefield tapped. You draw a card for each opponent who controls one or more of those permanents. Okay. That seems like a commander card. Takes a little bit. You got to read it. 1/2 zombie, full artwork for 2 mana. Gets bigger. Has all activated abilities of all creature cards. The problem with this card, I think, would be good in a zombie deck, in a blue-black zombie deck, if zombies actually had activated abilities. And most of them do not have activated abilities. They have comes into play abilities or static abilities, but very few of them have activated abilities. I don't think actually very many of them at all have activated abilities. That is what it is. Pick here. This is just an innocent traveler. Way better artwork, in my opinion. Really cool. And then we have Fuldaran Bloodcaster. This card is pretty good, although it tends to die super early. Haven't yet to have it flipped to the Bloodbath Summoner. I think this is a very good card. Especially, I think this gets better in Alchemy, in the sacrifice deck with sacrifice blood tokens and all that. Cool. And then we have the foil Dominating Vampires, the alternate frame. This is another card that I thought would be way better than it is. But it turns out against the decks that you want it against, you never have enough vampires to actually gain control of something. All right, last pack. Got 6 mythics, which is pretty neat. All right, got the commons. Not really gonna go over the commons again, like I said. Not too much anyway. All right, foil and Demonic Bargain. Another card that I thought would actually be good. But it turns out it's not good in multiples. So having a one-shot Demonic Tutor, there's always the chance that you exile those cards. There's potentially something that plays with cards that are exiled where this might benefit you. So I'm not 100% sure. This might, I think if this was 2 mana, I think this would be a very playable card and likely, be broken some point down the road. But as it stands right now, it's just, I don't think it's good enough. All right. The plumber. Oh, the plunderer. I thought it said plumber. Partner with Laureen the Diversion. Lifelink. Whenever a creature opponent controls eyes, gain 1 life and create a blood token. Okay. Other than the partner thing, I don't. That's standard playable as far as I'm concerned. Again, I said about this card. All right. Socialite. Another alternate art, or sorry, alternate frame. And the last. Ooh. That's sweet. That is a fantastic card. So we got 7 mythics and we got 2 Sorens. This is the alternate Dracula version. Very awesome. Very, very awesome card. It's just so cool. Yeah. Count Dracula. That's cool. All right. And we got a foil version of Thalia. Ooh, and we got a foil Chandra. That's pretty neat. So, you know, that's pretty decent. Pretty decent haul, I think. A few alternate art mythics. We got 7 total. And then a bunch of rares. And we got the really awesome Count Dracula. I don't know the value of these cards right now. I have no idea. I don't really care about that right now. I just wanted to try doing a box opening. And since I had gotten one of these Crimson Vow collector boosters boxes, I thought I'd open it and make a video of it. Oh. All right. So box stopper 1. Oh, it's a mythic. Wow. And we got a foil Jonathan Harker. Harker. Yep. So Jacob Hoken. So it's a foil version. Pretty neat. I have the. That's not a foil version. No, it's not. So you get the non-foil and the foil. So you can see the foiling process has definitely gotten better. On camera, the foil card looks worse, I think, but actually the fog in the back actually gives it some depth, so it's pretty neat. That was one box stopper, and the other box stopper. Oh, okay. Good. What did we get? The last box stopper is a Jonathan Seward. The training one that makes 1/1 green-white soldier tokens with training. Pretty neat. Foil. Alternate art. Obviously, I think all of these box stoppers are alternate art. But pretty good, actually. I'm surprised I got a mythic and a rare. I've opened a box of Crimson Vow set boosters, and both of them were commons. So, anyway, it's pretty neat. I hope you enjoyed this video. And I think I'm going to have an Innistrad Midnight Hunt collector box opening as well. But yeah, hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you later.